What's going on, guys? MIKEIRONBOY here. Today we're going to be going over our low kicks. We're going to take our fighting stance. I'm a righty, so I'm going to put my right foot back. The low kick's one of my favorite techniques. A lot of my fights I use the low kick, and I finished a lot of my fights with low kicks. It helps a lot to make their base a little bit weaker. It makes them harder for them to walk. And it just makes it harder for them to do a lot of techniques because their legs hurt. If their legs hurt, the base hurts, then they're not going to be able to have a lot of balance for their techniques. So I'm going to show you here on the back. When we practice on the back, just remember, especially for the kicks, I want those kicks, I want the back to be between my legs. So every time I do a kick, I want to step towards the side of the back to get that power and get that leverage. It's my favorite time to practice the kicks is on the back, the low kicks, and obviously in sparring, but being careful with your partners, don't want to hurt them too badly. So when I do the kicks on the back, I want to be stepping. So I take a base step. When I do my low kick, I take a base step. When we do our middle kick and our high kick, when we do our step, we go up on the ball and the foot. This time we don't want to really do that. We actually want to put our foot flat here, and I want to take a base step. So I'm going a little bit down, and then I extend the arm just like the normal Thai kick. I extend the arm here, and then I kick. Good. I like to personally extend the arm up high, because a lot of times if they kick or they punch, then I'm able to block those punches and those kicks by putting my hand here. One of the basic counters for a low kick is just the cross. Before they cross or before they kick, or right when they're doing that kick, I cross right in the middle, and you can tag the person right before they actually make the kick. And it's a great counter for the low kick. But a way to block that is just keeping the arm up. When I kick here, and then any punch that comes my way is gonna get trapped in my arm. Yes, you lose a little bit of power, but you keep a lot of your defense, and you actually don't lose that much power, especially if you time the kick correctly. You're not gonna lose that much power. Good. Again, when I step, I take a drop step. So I'm here, I step, my foot is flat, facing towards the outside, and then I'm turning and I'm pointing my shoulder towards my opponent, towards my target. That's another thing. A lot of times when we want to kick, we'll do this and we'll leave our body straight up. Good. This is called chop kick. It's really fast, but it's also dangerous, especially because you're keeping your body straight up, and you can get hit pretty easily with punches or even with a kick. So you want to do a proper low kick with a lot of power. You want to turn your hips as much as you can. You want to turn that shoulder as much as you can, also covering your face here. Also, with the low kick, is really important to keep that other hand up. We always do it with just a normal kick here. We keep the hand up, but especially with the low kick, another counter that's also for the low kick is just kicking up high. If I kick low and my opponent kicks up high, they're gonna tag me, and you can create a knockout that way. So it's really important just to keep all these little details of defense, just in case they decide to counter that low kick. It's a great tool to use, but it's also, in my perspective, a little bit risky because you can get blocked a lot, and you can get kicked in the face or get crossed. Good? But it's a great tool to really hurt your opponent. So it has some risk, but it also has a really big reward. So that's why it's one of my favorite techniques to use. So again, when I take that step, when I'm putting my low kick, I'm taking the drop step, heel down, right? I pivot, but I put my heel down here, shoulder forward this way, arm extended forward to cover the punches, other hand stays here to cover the kick, and then I do my low kick. Good? Last thing, I actually want to keep my chin as tucked as I can. So any kicks or anything, it's going to hit my forehead instead of my chin. When I do it on the back here, I'm going to show you lefty stance. I take that drop step. I'm pushing right away, and I'm lowering my body mass just slightly here, and then I step. Arm forward, and then I kick. As I step, I like to take a slight jump, very slightly. The reason is because I take away that friction from the ground. So I take that friction from the ground, and I take that step. So I lift up my leg just slightly here, and then I kick. Lift up slightly, and then I kick. As soon as I kick, or as soon as I step, your kick has to land, all right? It has to be fast, especially with those low kicks. You have to go as fast as you can, and then hit your opponent. Another great way to use the low kick is against the punches. Every time they punch, you can just low kick. Every time they punch, low kick. It doesn't really matter what punch they do, they still gotta take that step. So just remember, guys, when I'm fighting, it's all about just distance and timing. And for distance, if I have a specific distance, doesn't matter what technique they're gonna be doing, they always have to step to get that distance, the proper distance, before they do the technique, right? So you just gotta time that step. Hitting that lead leg, even if they're lefty, you can hit either the back leg or you can hit the inside. So when I do the kick, every time they're gonna step for a punch, it doesn't really matter what punch it is. As soon as they step, then I time the kick. So imagine this is the bag. This is a great drill to do on the bag. You push the bag, right, and then you time it here. And then as soon as the bag is in the proper distance, you're gonna kick. So you can visualize the punches. So here's the bag going back and forth. Here they're coming in with that punch, and then I kick. I visualize the punch. I visualize the distance. And that, guys, are the basics of doing a low kick. Just a few little details. Again, keeping that arm out, keeping that shoulder forward, so that way you can turn your hip and your whole body mass going towards that, towards your opponent, towards that target. Base step down. So I take that base step, heel down, right? And I go and I put my body mass a little bit lower, chin down, another hand covering your face so you don't get kicked in the face. Cool, guys. Hope that helps out with the low kick. Again, I'll be putting more drills and more techniques to do in the bag and to practice as well. Hope this helps you out in your training. See you guys next time.